Hello again, it's me, Elizabeth. Sorry about this. I'm doing a video because I just finished reading Demigods and Magicians by Rick Riordan. Now, I have a lot of theories, and they have to do with the Trials of Apollo, especially this book. Now, there will be spoilers, so, if you haven't read this book or any of the Percy Jackson books, or especially the Demigods and Magicians book, leave now because I'm going to spoil you. Right. Now, in this, we meet what do you call it? A combination Greek and Roman god. Right, the silent one. I don't know where he is unless I know he's somewhere near the back because they come and okay. Okay, I think it's up a bit more. Yeah, probably is. Yeah, it looks like it is. Yeah, Lavinia. Okay, got it. Coming up to the right area. Okay, getting there. Okay. It's around here somewhere. Hypocrites. Yeah, Hippocrates. He's a hybrid. That's it. That's what you call it, a hybrid. He's a hybrid of. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, Hippocrates is the Ptolemaic god of silence. Ptolemaic god of silence. Now, Ptolemaic is another word for this one in this book. I'll show you. Where is it? Here we go. The crown of Ptolemy. Something like that. It's an Egyptian word. Well, Greek Egyptian, because he was the underlord of Alexander the Great. So the Heracles, which is here, he's the hybrid god of silence and secrets, Greek adaptation of Harper Carrot or Horace the Child, where when his hand goes up it's secret. Yeah, so I'm thinking this was done before the Trials of Apollo started, book 1 of Trials of Apollo, because they have the sneak peek of Trials of Apollo, the Hidden Oracle, in this. So this one came before the Trials of Apollo started. Now, here's the switch, okay? Now, I know the Kane Chronicles and Percy Jackson started one after the other, because Percy Jackson started, then the Kane Chronicles started, and then the Heroes of Olympus. And then Magnus Chase and so on and so forth. And Magnus Chase and Trials of Apollo were going on at the same time. And they ended differently, I guess. The thing is, now this is going to sound weird, but this one came out after the Heroes of Olympus and must have been happening before Magnus Chase. So it is, the weirdest thing is that I have a theory that the Triumphant was behind this as well. I mean, they were behind Luke raising the Titans. They were behind, in the Heroes of Olympus, behind Gaia and the Giants rising and the war with them. And in this one, Setni, who was one of the bad guys out of the Kane Chronicles, he started having the Book of Thoth and reading it and figuring he could be the next full powerful god of Greece and Egypt. So one of the huge hybrid gods, because you meet another hybrid god in this as well. And so I'm wondering, maybe because of the Roman emperors, I assume they know about the Greeks taking over Egypt when they did, because the Romans took over Greece, the Greeks, and the Greeks would have already taken over Egypt already. So that leads me to assume that the Romans, when they took over Greece, they invaded Egypt as well. So I'm assuming that the Triumphant, which is Commodus, Nero, Commodus and Caligula, knew about this and set it all up, because remember, Python was released when the doors of death opened. So I'm assuming they set this up to have the eyes of the Greek and the Egyptian gods elsewhere, not noticing them taking the silent god, a hybrid Greek Egyptian god. It makes kind of sense when you think about it, because Percy and Annabeth was distracted, and so was the Kane siblings, Carter and Sadie. So you got to assume, and also mentioning that the Egyptian gods and the Greek gods would have been elsewhere eyeing off what was happening in here, not to notice Nero and them taking the silent god. That's why that leads me to this, because you find out about the hybrid god in this book, in the Trials of Apollo the Tyrant's Tomb, because Apollo talks about it. So, theory, but this was a very interesting book, and it led me to, well, quite a few theories, and they're the theories I have, and I'm surprised, and I'm like in my mind thinking, yeah, it has to be. It has to be. It just has to be. Because otherwise, why? would they talk about the hybrid Greek Egyptian gods and theirs when the Trials of Apollo hadn't come out at the time? And then all of a sudden in the Tyrant's Tomb, there's another hybrid god in this book. So it leads me to the theory of interesting. So maybe the Triumphant was a bit behind a bit more than what Percy Jackson went through. Because he was behind Luke and the Titan War. He was behind the Giants and the Gaia War. And now they're behind the Trials of Apollo, which Apollo did, you know. So that leads me to thinking they may have been behind what started off the Magicians one as well in the Kane Chronicles. So that leads me to that, which if they are behind it, behind both from, then my gosh, they must have known about Brooklyn House. They already knew about Camp Half-Blood and Camp Jupiter. I mean, come on, who doesn't? But of course, the other gods, the Egyptian ones, and the Magicians, the Kane Chronicles, and with Magnus Chase, they're never supposed to meet the twain, see, with the others. Even though all the gods know about one another, especially the Egyptian and Greek gods would have known about each other. Come on, they live in the same lake area, well, the same sea area, in other words. Because if you look on a map, you'll find out that Italy, Greece, and Egypt are close by one another. So you have a feeling, don't you, that back in those medieval times, the gods would have known where each other's gods were. So that leads me to thinking that. Now, in these stories, they're really, really good. I do like it. I mean, I love how the Canes and Percy and Annabeth meet. I love how Sadie and Annabeth hug, because that's the first, because I've never seen, I don't think I've ever read Annabeth hug before. I mean, maybe tipping Percy over in the Roman camp that time, but never hugging. I don't think I've ever seen that. And then Carter putting that symbol on Percy's hand. Still don't know whether it's there or not. And if it is, that's interesting. I wouldn't mind more stories like this where they meet up again. Demigods and Magicians, more Demigod and Magicians stories, because these are really good. But these stories lead me into the Trials of Apollo, and I have a feeling that's why. I have a feeling the Triumphant was behind all of this chaos that happened in Demigods and Magicians. Now, tell me down the bottom whether you agree with that, because I agree with it, and I think the Triumvirate was behind this. Ugh. In order to steal the silent god. I like how in the Son of Sobek that they find the little necklace, which is the Son of Sobek necklace, and any crocodile that wears it, because Sobek is the crocodile god of Egypt, well, you know. And then in the stuff of Serapis, which is a hybrid god again. He's one of the hybrid gods. Who knew? And he's really powerful. Past, present, future. he dealt with that. But I love how Annabeth took the dagger and just banged it into his staff. That was very, very good. She killed the dog, which is the future one. Annabeth was upset about that, but it had to be done. And then, of course, in the crown of Ptolemy, because Ptolemy wanted to be a god, didn't quite work out. But in this, Setne wants to be, well, it. And Percy gets how do you say it? The god of the upper crown of Egypt, she takes over Percy's body. Neck bit. It's here somewhere. Right, Sadie asks Neckbit, now, Your Scavenging Highness, is there a way to stop Set? And she's like, possibly. He's not a full god yet, but without my crown, my own powers are greatly diminished. And then Sadie's like, what about the Book of Thoth? Would that help, you know? And Neckbit's like, the Book of Thoth contains spell for imprisoning gods. It would take a great deal of concentration and preparation to do that. That's not what it's a bit of it, but yeah. And then Carter's like, I'm guessing Setner won't stand around quietly while we get ready. And Neckbit's like, no. It'll at least 3 of you would be required to set a proper trap. A circle must be drawn, a rope must be enchanted, which Carter's got the rope, he's the rope one. The earth must be consecrated, which is what Annabeth and Sadie do. Other parts of the spell would have to be improvised. Well, they do that. I hate Ptolemaic magic. Mixing Greek and Egyptian power is an abomination. However, Neckbit says, insane to him. One of you will have to fight Setnek and keep him unbalanced while the others prepare the trap. We need a very potent hybrid attack, an abomination even Ptolemy would approve of. And then Percy's like, why are you looking at me? I'm not an abominable. And Neckbit's like, you are a son of Poseidon. That would be a most unexpected combination. And Percy's like, combination what? And Sadie's raised her hands. She knows. Oh, no. Sadie raised her hand. She looked horrified, and anything that could scare that girl, I did not want to know about. Neckbit, you can't be serious. You want a demigod to host you? Because the magicians host the Egyptian gods. So the Egyptian gods just don't come down. Well, sometimes they do because Nekhbit did, but that's because of the items and the crowns. The magicians host the gods, see, in their bodies. Well, guess what Nekhbit wants to do with Percy? He's the son of Poseidon, the big three. Hades, Poseidon, Zeus, the big three. Well, he's not a magician. He doesn't have the blood of the pharaohs. Yeah, he may not have the blood of the pharaohs, but he has the blood of one of the big three. See? I assume that's why. That's her point, Sadie. Percy isn't the usual kind of host. If the pairing worked, he could be very powerful. Or it could melt his brain, Sadie said. Annabeth is like, hold it right there. I prefer my boyfriend with an unmelted brain. What exactly are we talking about here? I pretty much could understand that. I mean, you really? I don't think she wants Percy's brain melted. And then Carter's saying Nekhbit wants Percy to be her host. That's one way the Egyptian gods maintain a presence in the mortal world. They can inhabit mortals' bodies. And then Percy's like jackknifed. You want her? He pointed at the frazzled old vulture goddess to inhabit me. That sounds... And Percy couldn't come up with another insult. He couldn't come up with one. Because he's like, I tried to think of a word that would convey my complete disgust without offending the goddess. I failed. Nekhbit, and then Annabeth wanted Nekhbit to go into her because she's the child of Athena. I might be better. That's what Annabeth said. Ridiculous, the goddess sneered. Your mind is too wily, girl. Too stubborn and too intelligent. Well, that's true because, you know, Athena is... Well, let's not get into that one. I couldn't steer you as easily. Percy's like, steer me? Hey, lady, I'm not a Toyota. That's funny. That is so funny. My host needs a certain level of stability, the goddess continued. Percy Jackson is perfect. He is powerful, which is true. Yet his mind is not overly crowded with plans and ideas, which is also true. Honestly, it really is true, isn't it? I mean, come on. And I love this part from what Percy says. Whoa, really feeling the love here. You know. And then Nekhbit rounded on him and said, there is no time to argue. Without a physical anchor, I cannot remain in the mortal world much longer. If you want to stop Setne from becoming immortal, you need the power of a god. We must act now. Together we will triumph. We will feast upon the upstart magician's carcass. No, I love how Percy says this. Very smart ass Percy. I swallowed. I'm actually trying to cut back on carcass feasting. Percy doesn't carcass feast. No. And then she goes, do you consent to hosting me, demigod? And Percy's like, okay. So he lets him in because he really doesn't want Setne to win, and doesn't. So, you know, and he fails. But that's some of the funny bits in the last story there. That's why I said this really does give me vibes of the Triumphant doing this. And I mean, yeah, I've told you bits and pieces of this. And, I mean, seriously, read it. It's really good. And I've read some of the parts in this that you would like. But I must say, read it if you have read it. Do you have the feeling that the Triumphant was behind this as well? Because I really do. I think they planned this so the eyes would be off them when they stole get across, because of what's in this one. Now I would read you the part in here where Apollo tells you, you know, but that would take too long to find the page. I'm not like Sarah Oates where I page my books. I love my books to bits. I will get the hardcover backs of these books though. And this is my favourite series. And the last book comes out this year. And next month, the Camp Jupiter classified one comes out where they're talking about what's happening at Camp Jupiter and all the attacks and stuff that were from this one, mind you. So that'll be interesting. But yes, this just gives me the vibes that the Triumphant was behind what happened in this book in order to get the Silent God, the cut off communications, so that way when Apollo did arrive down on the earth, well, you know, but Apollo killed that god. I mean, it was for the good. I mean, otherwise he wouldn't have summoned Artemis to save him. Otherwise he would have become a zombie, which would have been bad. Bad. So, yes. But if the silent hybrid god, Greek Egyptian hybrid god, hadn't been captured, and this hadn't, occurred, then the hybrid god, Hippocampus, would not have met the Sibyllus. Met Apollo Sibyllus. I forgot her name, but yeah, she's the Sibyllus. So, interesting, isn't it? Because these two are the books that have the hybrid Egyptian gods in them. So you've got to think, So that's all I wanted to say about this one. It's a really, really good book. And honestly, I love it. I really, really, really love this book. It's good. And so after reading it, I have this feeling that I just want to reread the Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson world again. So I'm going to read Percy Jackson and the Olympian series, and then the Heroes of Olympus series, and then the Trials of Apollo series again. And then, of course, I will read the small snippet books in between them as well, like this one. The only books I do not have are the Kane Chronicles and Magnus Chase. The Kane Chronicles I really do want to get because I love that series, because I love Egypt. I love Egyptology, so it's good. And now I'm loving Greek mythology, especially Apollo, because my godly parent is Apollo. Although my godly parent, Egyptian godly parent, would have to be a god. It would either be Thoth, because Thoth loves reading books. I mean, he is the wisdom god of wisdom in Egypt. Ra is the sun god. I mean, he's like Apollo in that sense, although Apollo is more the artsy one as well. as the oracle god. So, you know, and or I might be in Horus. Horus is kind of the leader god of the Egyptians, but kind of not. I forgot what he was. See, I loved Egyptology. I'm planning on getting that Egyptology book because I like Egypt. It's mysterious and stuff. So yeah. And there's Percy's sword, Riptide, and that's the sword that Carter uses in his stuff. So yeah. So yep, love the book. And this also has the first chapter of the Trials of Apollo, the Hidden Oracle, which is really good, as well as Magnus Chase. And the Kane Chronicles here I will be getting. Don't you worry, I will be getting them, I will be reading them, and I will do book talks on them. I'm also going to be doing book talks on the Percy Jackson series as well. So the first one I'm reading is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, which is right here. And I will be doing a book talk on this book. We'll be doing a book talk on this one once I'm done reading it. And so, yay. And I've got the blue bookmarker in this one because blue is Percy Jackson's favourite colour. Mine too, by the way. My favourite colour is blue. So, Percy Jackson. I am going to buy the Kane Chronicles, and I will be reading those, and I will be doing reviews for those as well, because Egyptology is fascinating, and being a magician even fascinating. Is the word as fascinating? I don't think so, but you know. So yes, absolutely love this book. If you haven't got it, get it, because you know, if you have got it, then am I right in the theory of saying that the Triumphant was behind this as well? Just putting it out there. Okay, if you got any views on that, tell me about it down in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. Okay, bye.